So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. My name is Harold, and I am a staff nurse here in Dublin, Ireland. And yeah, welcome to my channel. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much, guys, for watching our videos, for supporting this channel. To my members, thank you so much. And if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, bulol, you can click on the subscribe button and then tap mo na yung bell so that you will be notified if gagawa ako ng mga videos in the future. So for this vlog ay pag-uusapan natin yung common questions ng mga nurses or yung mga Filipinos na who wants to go overseas, and that is yung requirement with the Ielts. When we say Ielts, that is your International English Language Testing System. It's like one of your requirements if ever you want to study, you want to work, or you want to migrate in a foreign land where the basic or the mother language is English. And as we all know, it's not really easy to pass this test. So lucky for me, I'm not bragging, but I was kind of like trained to do one. I was teaching non-English speakers as well back in the Philippines, Korean, Chinese, and Taiwanese. And yeah, maybe my little knowledge about IELTS will somehow give you ideas on how, or advices on how to get yourself ready before you take the test. So yeah, stay tuned. So my first advice if you are planning to take the IELTS test is knowing the structure of the exam, because unlike any other exams out there, it's not like a multiple choice. Reading could be multiple choice, but if you talk about writing, if we talk about speaking, if you talk about listening and reading, these are actually kind of like structure exams. So if you know what's the structure of the test itself, you will find your way, much easier for you maybe to address the questions or to answer the questions. I will not go much to the details because it's gonna be a very long conversation, pero kung alam mo kung paano i-address yung question, kung alam mo yung structure ng exam itself, parang mas magiging madali siya kasi you know what to do. So that's my number one advice. The second advice that I could give is knowing the criteria of the test. So after knowing the structure, you have to know the criteria. Maybe you're wondering, what is criteria, Harold? So basically, when you take the IELTS test, especially on speaking and writing, there is like a criteria that you have to address in order to get a point that you desire. For example, if you're aiming for 7.0, if you're aiming for 8.0, there is actually like a criteria that you have to address. And for example, like in your writing, we have your task achievement, we have your lexical resource, parang mga ganon. So you have to know that criteria so that you will be able to address on how to get that score, because band 5, band 6, band 7, band 8, in the criteria of the test has actually each one or each own description on how to get it. So getting familiar with the criteria would also be a big thing. And number 3 that I would also advise to you as one planning to take the IELTS is knowing the vocabularies. I know for the fact that Filipinos, we are trained to speak English in an American way. So I'm sure we have the lexical, we call it lexical resource in the test. We have that vocabulary, but somehow expanding your vocabularies more would also be an advantage, especially when you talk about I think in each part of the tests, especially IELTS is based on like an English based on British English. So we have this terminology that is actually different from what we use back home to the British use in their own country. and Australia as well. So knowing, more vocabularies than usual is an advantage, especially in your writing and your speaking, because there is a particular criteria on writing and speaking that is actually dealing with vocabularies, or as I mentioned a while ago, lexical resource. So knowing, like for example, I would say large, you could say huge, or you could say easy, you could say hectic, you could say it's advantageous, you can say pros, those kind of words. Like if you have a good vocabulary stretch, you will basically get good points on that specific part of the test. I would suggest you watch British movies, you read news, like more related to British or Australian, because there are words there somehow that might be new to you, and that will basically help you with the test. So yeah, expand your vocabularies. Now the fourth tip that I would actually mention or share to you guys is more related to speaking, and that is being more natural on your speaking test, or when you take the exam, or even when you practice. You have to be that natural, because being natural means being spontaneous, but at the back of your head you're still thinking of what you're going to say. But don't make an answer that is already patterned, like a template. No, feel free to talk. That's one secret I would say when it comes to speaking test. But yeah, think of the words that you want to use, or you can use simple words, but make sure you're able to use it effectively. But yeah, be spontaneous, because many are thinking like you have to really be that high up when it comes to speaking test. I took my exam last time, and to be honest with you, I would say like I was more afraid to myself than the difficulty of the test, because the conversation, the exam itself was not too bad, but it was actually me who actually put pressure to myself at that time. So parang gumaganon ako, parang medyo kabado. But that's one thing siguro that I can advise you: be spontaneous, and think that you can do it, and don't let fear or that nerves come into your way. I know I understand the feeling, because I've been there, but as much as you can, control your nerves and be spontaneous. The number 5 tip that I would advise is actually applicable to 4 tests: reading, listening, writing, speaking, and that is time management. Because in each exam you're actually limited to a number of hours. Like for example, in writing, you're only given 60 minutes, 40 minutes for task 2, and 20 minutes for task 1. And then for reading, you will be able to answer all those questions in 1 hour as well. So time management in each aspect of the test is very important. Speaking, your task 2, you're only given a specific time, 2 minutes, to talk about your answers. So you also have to practice that one. Time management is essential in the test or in any other test, but I would say it's essential, really essential in IELTS exam. Number 6 is basically connected to your number 5, and that is reading sample answers. Okay, there's a lot of books in IELTS published out there, IELTS books itself. I remember, I forgot the reference, I'm so sorry, but there are a lot, like from British Council. There are a lot of materials that even online you can see a few. Just go to British Council and you will see a lot of sample answers. I think reading sample answers will definitely give you a hint, give you an idea, or give you a guide, like on how to answer questions, or on how to attack each question of the test, especially in writing. So I would say, make your own answers first on the question, and then try to compare your answers to a sample answer so that you can see the difference. And of course, the last one is the most important one, and that is practice, practice, practice. All right, there's no no way you can pass the exam straight away without actually, practicing your skills in all aspects of the test. So take time to practice as much as you can. Don't take the exam too lightly. Why? Because the exam itself is very expensive back home. I was so lucky actually, like I got it on one take, so that was, a chance for me, because I think an exam now, I'm not updated anymore, but it should be around 15,000 or 12,000 and above. Correct me if I'm wrong on that price range. So it's not an easy test, so don't take it lightly. So practice as much as you can. It also gives you pressure every time you take the test. So practice will make you a bit more confident on taking the tests. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. I hope I gave you enough advice just to give you a bit of reassurance about the test. And yeah, if you fail, like I told you, it's not an easy test. So there will be at one stage you will be failing, which of course I'm not wishing for it, but it's if you fail, it's not the only you alone who's actually having those pains of failing the test. There are a lot of people out there that's the only reason why they can't fly is the Ielts test. So at one stage, if you fail, don't stop. Okay, don't stop. Practice and practice. Take time to practice and then gain confidence on the exam, but never stop, and then never say that you can't make it because you fail. Some people actually take the exams twice, 3 times, 4 times before they got it. So don't be discouraged if at one stage of your life, like, oh, I failed the test, I should stop dreaming on what I want. No. So yeah, there's always second chance, and there's always right timing for everything. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and sorry for my voice. It's now 10 o'clock here in Dublin time, and my housemates are all sleeping, I would say. So I'm not that noisy or too loud, but I hope my speaking voice is just enough for you to really get the point that I'm trying to say. So thank you so much for watching, and this is Harold. If you have any questions, just comment down below, and then I'll try my best to answer it or make another vlog for it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. This is Harold, your staff nurse here in Ireland, signing off. Thank you so much, and God bless.